Hi, Susan from Susan's Art and Junk Journaling. Guys, I am so torn. If you saw a recent video on my best ever auction finds, I came across a whole shoebox for $25 of these absolutely gorgeous receipts from the early 1900s. This one's from, oh, I got fuzz on my fingernail. 1905 for a farmist. This one's from 1908, paying rent. I don't know if it's only 53 cents, so I don't know what they rented for 53 cents. A Baptist church receipt. I'm so torn. Are you guys like me where you hoard stuff like this and look for stuff like this and then don't want to use it? But I mean, what's the point of gathering it for junk journals if I'm not going to use it? And this is another one of my wing-its because I don't do prototypes. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is glue these onto maybe book page and then something else, and then do some collaging on the top of these, making journal cards or something. This big one though, I have a feeling I'm going to have to cut it into thirds. And then definitely focus on that one. That one will be the focal point on that. This one, there's a lot of empty space on the bottom, so I could probably even just glue this together and make this as a journaling card, and this can be the journaling spot on the back. But stay tuned and see what I come up with, and you'll have to let me know what you would have done with these, and if you hoard these pretty papers yourself or if you actually use them. I bought this from Michael's last year. It was on clearance for, I think it was $5. I did a video about it, but I don't remember how much I spent on it, but it's got a lot of really pretty papers in here. I figure I'll use one of these. I'm going to glue this onto this paper. Both of these, since they're similar in size, I'm going to cut down here to make this smaller. So let's see, how much room do I want? I think I'll cut along this line here, and I will cut it along here. Oh, there's my line. I lost my line. I will fold it back on itself like this, and then notch out the top and make a deep pocket for it. And I'll do the same thing with this. I'll glue it on and then make a pocket out of it, and then decide what I'm going to do next with these two. This is the inside of a book that I had. this would go good right there. I've got my clear PVA glue. Put a clear coat on top to seal it together. And this is from August 31st, 1906. I'll let it dry and then I'll cut a little border around it. And what's nice is the back is empty, so it can be a journaling spot. I'll let that one dry. Here's another book page. It's pretty much clear on the back side. This one's hard to read. It's really faded. I think at an angle, can you read it better? That one's done. This one's from, let's see, looks like the original printing was 1896, and this printing is from 1959 for the all-new Fannie Farmer cookbook. I want this to be at the top. I'll use this August 18th, 1907 J.H. Fishbeck. I know you guys know the bad part about using wet glue is it makes air bubbles and air pockets between your pages, and it doesn't dry flat. But let's see if I can overcome those hurdles. That one's done. Another inside book page. And this one is Bloomington, January 22nd, 1908. $12.50. Oh no, it says $5. I don't know. This is different than that that amount. I could have probably used freezer paper and ironed. I've done that before, but I've got a whole shoebox full, so I could probably try the freezer paper sometime in the future on another project. This one's real delicate. I definitely want this one encased. You know, in 1908, they used a fountain pen and real ink. There we go. That one's done. Cookbook page. Looks like I need to get some more glue. I buy my PVA glue by the gallon. This one's really fragile. I definitely want to encase this one. So it says June 4th, 1908. There we go. That one's done. The next number of ones I'm going to do, I just stuck my finger in that glue. I plan on folding them in half and just gluing them together like that. So this will be the front, and then there'll still be plenty of journaling space here. No matter what their politics, they take the bulletin for its news. That must have been the area newspaper. I always knew from the 70s on that Bloomington's newspaper was the Pantograph. So this was before the pantograph. I've got a number of more of these that are pretty blank on the bottom. I will do the same thing. I will glue them together. In a previous auction haul, I showed I got this catalog from my last 2 times ago from the auction. It's a replica of a 1901 catalog, but it's a 1970 reproduction. You can see right here it says 1970. So by all rights, this is an old catalog for 1970, but it's a replica of a 1901. And it's got all kinds of fun things in here. I took some of the item descriptions. This is about capes, and she's wearing a cape. So I'm going to glue that on there. This one is about white organdy dresses or boxcloth suit. So I will glue that on there. And since these are from 1905, 1909, I thought these images were very appropriate. Before I glue these on, I might go through with some watercolor paint and color up the edges a little bit so it's not so bland. I don't know where I want to put that. Maybe like that. This one's about a Cheviot serge jacket, boxcloth jacket. So that's the next step. I've got my shimmering watercolors. Let's see what I can accomplish with this.
You say slow down. I don't like to move too fast. It drowns the truth with things that are not real, and I really want us to be real with
These are the two that had their creases, and when I folded them, they cracked, so I put a coat of glue on top. So let's see if I can do this again. There we go. I'll put a little thumb notch in here and decorate them a little more, but this will be a pocket. I got this book from a Minnesota antique shop. Isn't it great? I'm going to cut out a couple of the bugs in here to add to what I've got going on here. That one and this one. Do you live in a part of the country that has these nasty stink bugs or shield bugs? The ones that look like this or this, kind of similar, I guess more like this, keep sneaking into my house. And they sound like dive bombers when they're flying around. But it says that there are several hundred species. Oh, my goodness. The shield bugs are very similar to stink bugs. In these species, the shield, which develops from the thorax, is so large that it covers a good part of the abdomen. I'm trying to find something pretty. Oh, there we go. Recently, I had showed I was using some old greeting cards I had received. I think I'm going to cut out this sentiment and one of these flowers for. These are the ones that were so delicate that I basically like Mod Podged with PVA glue, sandwiched them onto another piece of paper because they were so delicate and falling apart. I love the patina of this one. So that's these. I want to cut out some of these and glue them on here. I'm going to go through my little pile here and see what I can come up with, and I'll show you what I have found. This is what I've created. This is doing the shimmery watercolor. These are the ones that were more or less Mod Podged onto a substrate because they were so delicate. I also did a little decoration with a gel pen, give it a little bit more personality. I love the Christmas card with all its sparkles. When I ironed it straight, even though the glue was dry, I still got these bubbles. And that's what I don't like about using wet glue. This was the pocket, one of the pockets. This is from 1908, it says it on the back side, so I wrote it there. Since there was purple, I don't know,
carbon copy on there, I took a purple gel pen and added a little more purple detail. Did some purple on here on the outside to go with this purple flower that I cut from a magazine, playing card corner, and this was from a greeting card. And this was from the same greeting card as this. I had some leftover blue paint from another junk journal project I did, so I just went ahead and smeared it on a bunch of book pages so that I didn't waste it. From a greeting card, from a separate greeting card, and then I did the faux stitch around the edge. A map glued onto the Fanny Farmer cookbook because it was so thin. You can see how thin it is. You can see the map through it. This is from another greeting card. I hope you enjoyed that project and liked what I did with these early 1900s receipts that I got from the auction. If you haven't had a chance, I'd appreciate it if you could subscribe, and I would really appreciate it if you could comment on my videos. Thank you so much for joining me today. Bye-bye.